Hello everyone, I'm Kevin, otherwise known as Forum BX257, here to begin another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review, and today I'll be taking a look at a real-life person turned into an action figure. William the Refrigerator Perry, or in this case, the G.I. Joe physical training instructor, the 1987 The Fridge. Now before I get into the toy, I'd like to talk a little bit about the man. Now, Hasbro had already had a bit of a success story when they had turned Sergeant Slaughter into an action figure. So they were wondering whether, would lightning strike twice? And they signed on this football celebrity. Now, I'm calling him basically a football celebrity, but in fact, in 1985, he was more than that. Now, William the Refrigerator Perry, his nickname is the Refrigerator for a reason. He was a massive, massive man. And he played for the Chicago Bears as a defensive lineman. His famous number 72 was something that he basically carried on with him throughout his football career. However, most people actually knew who he was. And that was very unusual back in 1985 because, to be quite honest, before the Refrigerator, most football celebrities were just that. They were just sports celebrities. You didn't know who this person was if you didn't follow any sports at all. However, that changed with him because even though he was such a massive, massive man, he always had a very friendly demeanor. He was very quick to smile. He was very quick to talk to his fans and even talk to brand new people he'd never even met. He didn't even know if they were his fans or not. He always came off as very friendly, and that's where he crossed the border from being a sports celebrity to just being a plain celebrity for everyone in the 1980s to recognize. Hasbro recognized that and signed him on to make a mail-away figure at first. Now, back in 1987, when they finally finalized the deal, what they did was they made these little coupons, and you had to collect 5 of them. Now, these coupons were in specially selected figure cards. They would just be right there behind the figure. And they were usually all marked with the with his blurb. However, if you couldn't get 5 of these, you could always just get 4 and call in a special number, and you would be given a special code word. So you would actually put that code word on one of these and send it in as a sort of a IOU 5th coupon, if you will. Now, after the initial run for that 1 year in 1987, later on in 1988 and 89, he was also available through regular mail-away flyers, sometimes with flag points, sometimes just without, just with a plain payment. I wonder if anybody actually phoned this number. It implies in the paragraph here that he actually answered the phone himself, but I'm guessing that's a pre-recorded message. Oh, sadly enough, the figure offer expired in January of 1988, so I guess that means the fridge is only available now to time travelers. I have to admit, though, that I was very reluctant to add the fridge to my collection. He really does not fit into the idea of a G.I. Joe combat team, and still doesn't. But I really like the figure because, honestly, it really does remind me of both the 1980s and the fridge himself. Especially with this big gap-toothed smile. I think the sculpt is really well done and really captures, I guess, the sort of friendly aura that the real-life William Perry actually did have. It really does just make me look at this guy and just sort of laugh. And I think that's really the intention here. It's a good type of laugh because I'm not laughing at him. I'm just sort of laughing with him. He came with what's known as a football mace. It's a very well sculpted piece with this, I guess, sort of ironclad football attached with a rope to the stick. It looks very, well, improvised, but it's still rather nice. And it does kind of go with the whole theme that the fridge is not really a combatant, but rather a trainer for the G.I. Joes. As a matter of fact, you won't find the official name of this weapon on either the advertisements or the file card. As a matter of fact, there is only one mention of what this thing is actually called, officially. And that is on this later ad from 1988 or 89, where it actually does say football mace right there. One sort of missed opportunity for the Fridge's sculpt is, I think he really should have had either Perry or the Fridge written on the back of his modified football jersey. And despite how friendly he is, of course, the other defining feature of Perry was, of course, his size. And the figure is no exception. Look at him beside Flint here, who is basically the average height of a G.I. Joe. The Fridge figure just towers over him. He is just like a hair shorter than 4 inches tall, rather than the 3 3/4 inch that most figures were made of. Of course, we also have the other tall guy, Sergeant Slaughter, who tops the 4-inch scale because of his campaign hat. But when you really look at them together, I think William Perry is actually maybe just a hair taller than Sergeant Slaughter. The Fridge's chest is just huge, and is certainly bigger than Sergeant Slaughter's as well. And here is a look at the Fridge's file card. It's just red at the back. The text, of course, really emphasizes the fact that he is not a combatant. He is really just there to train the G.I. Joes. I really love the fact that he has a simulated autograph in the corner. Well, that's all the time I have right now. Please check out my Facebook page for more information and behind-the-scenes photos for these reviews. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for next time to see another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. See you then!